Ashok Khemka, who's acquired quite a reputation of being an officer, speaks his mind and has to pay for it, is joining me once again on the Newshour tonight. Is it happening to you all over again? The first time you were targeted for questioning Robert Vadra's land deals. Are you absolutely sure that you're being targeted once again, that this is not a regular affair?
I guess so. This was not a routine transfer. It was a one-off transfer. And the transfer this time was quite humiliating. At 3:30 p.m. there was an officer of the rank of Under Secretary to the government, at least 5 levels below me. He appeared with an order of the Principal Secretary Agriculture appointing him as Managing Director of the corporation.
Right.
And asked me to relieve myself on the basis of this order of the Principal Secretary Agriculture.
No, what was surprising about it?
Now I had to struggle to save my face. Yes, the surprising was there was no order of the Chief Secretary transferring me, no order was delivered to me. So I had to save my face because the Principal Secretary Agriculture had quoted an order of the Chief Secretary wherein he states that I am transferred out of this corporation, and hence he used his powers to appoint a very junior rung officer as Managing Director of the corporation. And I am surprised why such an officer was appointed, because the officer concerned, his name may be involved in a few scams which was busted in this organization.
But Mr.
Then
Khemka,
I had to...
My question is more, how many transfers have you had so far in your career?
I have lost count, but it is 43 or 44.
40?
Either of the two in the last 20
40?
years.
Are you, in how many years have you served as an IAS officer?
Well, the first 2 years were training period, so not counting the first 2 years, I have served 20 years, less than 20 years in my active career.
So
my first posting was in September 1, 1993. So September 1, 1993 to April 2013 is slightly less than 20 years of active service.
Mr. Khemka,
the first 2 years were in training, so I am not counting the first 2 years.
Why I chose to highlight this today on the Newshour is, and I want to tell you wherever you're watching the Newshour tonight, it's not about the specifics of what Ashok Khemka, it's not about the specifics of why Ashok Khemka was made to go this time. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a man, he's in his late 40s, he served the country for 19 and a half years as an IAS officer. He's been transferred 43 or 44 times. That means, Ashok Khemka, that your average tenure is some 5 to 6 months or less in one job.
Yes, that's very right. That's right.
And you change every time you are shifted, you change your city also many times, I presume? You move from place to place?
In half of the times, yes. In half of the times, no. But it gives rise to a lot of problems in reconciliation of several issues. For example, I had to pay a lot of money because some of the house rent issues were not resolved. Because so many transfers, you have to keep those vouchers, then the officers say that these vouchers do not tally, so I have to pay up double in order to get the NOCs against various dues.
No, but Mr. Khemka,
it puts me into a lot of inconvenience also.
No, I'm sure it does. I just want to ask you today, you took on Robert Vadra, you questioned the system there. Now you've been transferred once again to a department called Haryana Archives. What keeps you going in the government? I mean, you're a qualified man. One would have thought that you would have perhaps looked at the option of leaving the government. I want to ask you, why are you still an IAS officer? Why are you still serving the government when you know that your career, I'm sorry to say this, has been going nowhere for 21 years because you're sticking your neck out?
Well, I think, you see, Arnab, I was an IITian, I was a topper in the IITs. I did my PhD from the TIFR. I have chosen the government out of a sense of conviction, and I think I can fight the ills of the system from within much better than what I could do from outside. So I am very, very effective in fighting the system from within the government. And let me tell you, when I was posted in the Seeds Corporation, nobody knew that I would be so effective that the decision makers were forced me to give this kind of a humiliating transfer to me within 5 months. So in a sense, it's a victory not for me, not for the system, but for me. So I do realize this, and let me tell you, the basic issue in this department was the huge amount of government subsidies administered in the agriculture department. So if you remember, in the year 1985, Rajiv Gandhi, our late Honorable Prime Minister, made a very visionary statement that out of every 100 rupees, not more than 15 rupees reach the end user. This is a blatant case of this department, where you could see this very openly, that out of every 100 rupees administered as subsidies, very little, I think less than 15 rupees, reach the end consumers or farmers. And having discovered the modus operandi and knowing that who were the scoundrels, these people ganged up to see my back. And my back was seen in such a poor way that they not only got me out, but they posted a man who would be involved in some of these issues, and posted him as the MD so that he could do the cover-up operation.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. This is what you are saying about the specifics of this case is not something independently we have investigated, but you have your right to say it. We'll have get the other point of view as well. However, Mr. Ashok Khemka, I put a bigger question to the viewers of Newshour tonight. Why should any IAS officer be posted 45 times in a 19-year career? What kind of system is this? Ashok Khemka, I thank you for joining me on the Newshour tonight.